how it all finished last season. And so for Mitch Trubisky, lest I remind you, he threw for 24 touchdowns last year. He completed 67% of his footballs. I mean, the guy, at least this team believes, he's legit and he can carry them to that place, especially with the defense that they have.
And Stacey, and I mean to cut you off, Andrew, in the last 3 games, he was money on the money down,
Absolutely.
third down. And to me, that showed tremendous growth from this young quarterback.
You mentioned the schedule. You see it on the side of the screen there. You get Green Bay in the opener, which we all know about, to open up the NFL's 100th season, the best rivalry in sports, in my opinion. And then look at that December. It is brutal, including a trip to Green Bay and then the Chiefs here and then a trip to Minnesota at the end. So it is not an easy schedule. They know they have the team, however, to navigate that schedule. Speaking of the Chiefs, let's get some headlines from around the NFL today on a Tuesday as we get back to work for training camp. And they are holding their breath right now in Kansas City. Tyreek Hill went down, got tangled up with Rashad Breeland, the defensive back. They were looking at his right leg a little bit, and then they took him off on a cart. Now, he's not in the back of the cart. He is in the passenger seat. There is nothing we know yet from the Chiefs, but this is something we are monitoring. Tyreek Hill looking at his right leg. Elsewhere today, in Indianapolis, Frank Reich made the announcement that Andrew Luck isn't there yet. He's not going to participate in the next 2 practices. They are still being very cautious with his calf. This is an injury they have monitored now. It happened in the offseason for 3 months. Luck has been doing work 7-on-7s, no 11-on-11s. Andrew Luck still not there. Julio Jones made the announcement today in Flowery Branch that he is not going to play in the preseason. This will be the 2nd consecutive August that he sits out of games. He also said that he has cut red meat.
There you go, Julio.
Out of his diet.
There you go.
He said that came from Tony Gonzalez.
Ha, the OG.
Who will be enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame coming up on Saturday evening on NFL Network. It's Ryan Fitzpatrick's job right now. That's from new head coach Brian Flores in Miami. He said that Fitzpatrick has the lead over Josh Rosen in the battle to be the number 1 quarterback for the Dolphins.
Yeah, was not surprised by that statement.
Josh Rosen sells a
Just
shot.
keeping it real, Stacey.
I'm not even going to talk about any magic going on over here.
Donald Penn, according to our Ian Rappaport, the former Raider offensive lineman, has agreed to terms on a 1-year contract. He visited the Redskins last week. He is evidently on his way back to Richmond to sign that contract.
And that's a starting left tackle. That's a starting left tackle.
Show you Ian Rappaport's tiny airplane. He's our NFL Network insider. That tiny airplane is taking it to Cincinnati today. Ian, I'm guessing if they are signing Donald Penn, that would mean they are not expecting Trent Williams back anytime soon.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Donald Penn signing a 1-year deal that's going to be official tomorrow, going to be on his way to Richmond today. And one thing that Donald Penn has wanted ever since he worked out for the Redskins a couple of days ago and kind of has monitored, I'm told, the different various left tackle situations around the NFL. He has wanted to be a starter, not just a fill-in. And by virtue of him joining the Redskins and being willing to join the Redskins, you have to think that Trent Williams not expected back anytime soon. It remains to be seen what's going to happen when the regular season actually begins, but it is very clear things are not going well, and at this point, Trent Williams not going to be a member of the Redskins, report to the Redskins anytime in the foreseeable future, which certainly is something that we need to keep an eye on. I know there's a lot of friction between Trent Williams and the organization, frustration with his medical situation. He wants an adjustment to his contract because of that. There's been no movement toward any resolution at all. So at the very least, what the Redskins did is get a starting left tackle until Trent Williams returns, if he does return.
Jay Gruden was asked on the podium in Richmond today before practice any update on Trent Williams, and he said, if I had an update, I'd give it to you. Ian Rappaport in Cincinnati there with the Bengals, our NFL Network insider. We continue here from Bourbonnais on Inside Training Camp Live. Coming up, we're heading to New Orleans. Talk to Alvin Kamara. Check in on Saints camp where it was raining today. It's ITC.
Inside Training Camp Live.